It's good, family. So, yeah, it was wonderful having Jeff over last night, and we had a really, really good visit. He stayed for hours. I didn't know if he was going to stay for a visit. I thought he was just going to pick up his record, and it's Jeff is really special to me. He really is, and he just settled in, and it was a real pleasure to hang out with Jeff last night. Just like myself, my stress level is down. The more we sat, the more obvious his stresses has really gone down since he's cut his hours. He's been going to the gym. Yeah, he looks good, doesn't he? And I didn't make my walk yesterday. I just did the grass, so I'm doing a bit of exercising too, as well as walking. Yeah, it's just that you can't let the body go. You know what I mean? Yeah, Jeff looks good. So I want to continue showing a few more records that are 10s for me, but I'm also going to show what's still sitting out that we listened to last night. We listened to a bunch of music on the Pioneer 418, PL 518. And it was just wonderful because as we talked, it was like, reconnecting. It's like, I know good audio. I always have, but it's like, you just go with the flow and of the times. And if all you have is crackers, you eat crackers. Or if that's all you think you have, you know what I mean? And we're talking, and the music kept calling our attention because things sounded so good, so much noticeably better than the last few times Jeff's been over here. So I'll show a little bit of what's still sitting out that we listened to. We played a bunch of music, and I gave him an album that I like obscure stuff, and I'll buy stuff cheap, obscure, if I don't know about it and it looks interesting. And I had this album called The Fifth Avenue Band that I had found years ago. I don't like it, but it's obscure, and there's a couple other reasons why I kept it in my collection. There are train spotting. I think we all have train spotting rules. I know I do. There's certain things that will make a record hold its interest for me for a while before I get rid of it if I don't like it. But anyway, this Fifth Avenue Band was an album of fairly American sounding roots music, which I hate, I do. And when he spotted it, he couldn't believe that I had it. And he said, "This is kind of a grail record for me." I said, "Really?" So we put it on. And at first I was just thinking, well, we'll just play it, I ended up giving it to him. It's like, I don't like this, and this means something to Jeff, so that's where it needs to be, is in his home. Who knows why we like what we like? Dale Stringchild, if you happen to be watching these, this is going to be my answer to your video too, because when you try to talk about what are the top rock albums of all time, see, I have to defer because my top 10 is not the same as the world's. And that's the real top 10 to me. So I think that you chose records that are greatly recognized as being masterworks of the genre. But as you also said, it was a particular time period, 67 to 73. And when I try to think of the best rock records of all time, it's going to go outside of that time period. So in a way, me answering this thread of Memphis Vinyl Jim and the Missus is also a nod to yours. I think you nailed it as far as listing 10 of the most significant rock recordings ever made. I agree that those records are very significant. So, what did we listen to last night that I didn't put away? Because that's the other thing, is I'm anal and I put stuff away. We listened to this band called Blitz Solar. I don't really know anything about this band. It's again back to is it the 80s or the 90s? I think it's the 80s. UK indie alternative rock. And just Solar is the song. Sounded great. Just love that time period of music. Blitz. This is a solo song by Martha of Martha and the Muffins. And Jeff didn't know anything about this. He likes Martha and the Muffins. He didn't know anything about this. So Light Years from Love. So we listen to this. I'm going to pull this because this has another variation on the Island Records label that I like. Island has had a lot of different variations on their label. I like them. They've always been pretty creative with their labels. I like this one. Island Records is a cool label, always has been. So we were listening to that. Just talk. D. Brown, if you happen to watch this, you are indeed Jeff's adopted son. I think it's so sweet. He dotes on you, man. I love that about life. We are drawn to people. We don't even necessarily know why a lot of times. Not attraction. It's beyond attraction that draws us together as people. That's part of it, but that's not even the biggest part, I think, especially when it comes to friendship. There is attraction involved in all relationships to a degree, but the deeper level of being drawn to people, I don't know what the word is. It's not attraction, but I think it's neat how Jeff is drawn to you, Deep Brown, like a dad. And I'm sure you won't mind me sharing this, Jeff, but when I said that to you last night, it was real neat because you had never thought of that. It never had occurred to you. It's so clear to me. And when I said it, I got to watch you stop and think about it. And it's like, son of a bitch, yeah, that is how I feel about D. Brown. He is like the son I don't have. It's really cool. It's touching. This was wonderful. I love the expression on Jeff's face when this started. You know, it's like everything stopped. David Sylvian and Robert Fripp. This is a remix of one of their collaborations, Darshan. Remixed by Future Sound of Love London. Whoa. God damn, this is good. Sounds just like that. It sounds like the cover. Remember, Jeff? Wasn't that cool? It was like, whoa, we're in for a ride. This was awesome. Awesome. And I don't know why I'm showing you the label. I just feel like showing it now. Yeah, I had an absolutely wonderful time with Brother Jeff last night. Really appreciate having a vinyl junkie in town to spend time with. We don't spend as much time as either of us would like. He really does live almost a town away from me, even though we're in the same city. So last night was just fantastic, Jeff. Just fantastic. We listened to this, John Renton, Half In, Half Out. I think this cat is Canadian. Don't know much about him. But when we were talking about the Fifth Avenue Band, it's on the Reprise label. And that was one of the reasons why I held on to it. Reprise was Frank Sinatra's label. But what I noticed about the Reprise label over its years is that it's tried to be commercially viable but also daring. And so they have put out some very interesting records over the years. And so when I see them cheap and I don't know what it is over the years, I bought them because I want to find out. And this is one. This is on Reprise. Now, overall, stylistically, this is not what I care for. But the title track, Half In, Half Out, is an excellent song. You know, it's got a bit of country in it. The song is so good, I can look past those. I don't know why, but Rit's music gets on my nerves. I've just heard so much of it. As soon as I hear that ding 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 ding, it's the same with the blues. I'm done. I'm done with it, you know. So the song's got to be really good to me. You know, otherwise I lose interest in me almost immediately. We didn't get to this, but I pulled this. Bob Mincer, who's a jazz saxophonist who's played with a lot of different people, including Chick Corea, started out in this band. And we didn't get to this, but kept this out. Now here's something that I played before Jeff got over, where the turntable really made a big difference. K-Ton W. DePena gave me this Enslaved album last year. And I liked it, but what a difference it makes to hear it on a good turntable. This is Stravinsky meets black metal. This is incredible. Some of the harmonic structures of these songs are pretty advanced. This is pretty fucking badass. Now, I'll be honest, I get a little tired of the... I do. I get a little tired of it. I have a couple folks that I really like that do it well. And so this guy, to be honest, I was thinking after a while, man, I wish you just shut the fuck up. This music is majestic. This is fantastic. Fantastic. A couple of standouts for my taste of the... And I don't have any of their records, but Capital Decapitation. That guy with the huge neck is not the band, or am I getting mixed up with Napalm Death? No, it's Capital Decapitation. I like his growl, his grunt. I like that. And Meshuggah. His is not the typical, it's more of a bark. Meshuggah. I just love Jens. Okay, let's keep going. As I showed you, I was playing this, and we played some more of this. This goes into my 10 pile, actually. 10! I mean, he's got everyone from Robert Wyatt to Brian Wilson on this album, people. Love Sakamoto. This is a 10. All right. Let me just go ahead and get that going. I'm going to make a shitty statement. People don't listen to music because this is not a huge album. This is one of REM's best albums. I played it again yesterday. Music is so much about fashion and trends, and REM to the majority of people are yesterday's news because they don't listen. That's just me talking. I may be wrong, but that's what it seems like, because if people were really still listening, this album is excellent. Played it again last night. It's excellent. It's some of REM's best. People don't listen. It's just my little rant. A loving rant. Lady Tron kicks butt. Lady Tron kicks ass. This is their latest album. Mirage. Fantastic pop song off of here. I turned the stereo up so loud on this. Kicks ass. We listened. No, this was before Jeff got here. So we'll get to my next batch of 10s in a second. I'm just enthusing about music. Henry Threadgill had this baby pumping on the stereo yesterday. You know the number. Man. I actually started this one over again because I was like, wait a minute, Henry, what did you just set up? Fantastic music. Henry Threadgill. This sounded so good yesterday. Fantastic. Yeah, music pumps me up. Now here's a record that I bought used because I have something by them on a comp that I like. But when I got this home and listened to it, it's like I didn't get it. And I still think it's kind of... I'm going to keep it, though, because it's just an oddity. Sprung Austin Walkin'. Now, why I think this is strange is because it's kind of got a noisy, industrial kind of feel to it, but the chords of the song are the chords to 18 by Alice Cooper. You can sing the song 18 almost to this record. So I don't know what they're talking about. It's in German. So the atmospherics of the way the songs are recorded I like, but what it's about I don't quite get, and I imagine that ultimately it's really not something I'm really into. But this is one of those odd records that, yeah, I like stuff like this, and I'm interested in hearing this stuff. So when I can find it cheaply, I buy it. Played a bit of this for Jeff. You know, I just bought this recently. Used but sealed. Pipe Dream. And this was okay. This is like Sunshine Pop. It's probably a studio creation. We were talking about the New Romantics for some reason. Well, we listened to Ultravox, Rage in Eden, and then Jeff asked about Visage. I used to have their album, but I don't anymore. This is the only thing I have by them is this 12-inch single, Beat Boy. So he played this. It's not very good. I'm still keeping it, though. It didn't play the B-side. I bet the B-side's good. The A-side Beat Boy was kind of just... I played this for... this new hot chip is killer, people, okay? I guess, at one time I was really big into rock music. I guess I'm really not into rock. I'm just into good music. Because I've just been thinking about that. It's like, I don't really show a lot of what you consider rock records. Just good records. Contemporary modern music. Hot chip is badass, people. Get with it now. Jeff, tell him in your next video how this you kept noticing. We're talking and it kept drawing your attention to the music because it's so fucking good. This new hot chip. In our heads. This is dope. Pulled this, the Dereck Whipper Jenny, because I knew that Jeff wouldn't know about this. This white psychedelic band on James Brown's People label. And we played the first track on this. The first track on this is classic psychedelic soul. Classic psychedelic soul. And then the second song is putridly bad. Horrid. You know, probably a concession for someone as part of the project that they did, that they put that song on second. It's terrible. It's just so obvious that you start off with such a good song and you go into such a horrid song the next song. Had to be politics. Someone wasn't listening. We didn't play this last night, but this is my most recent addition to my Zappa collection, which I showed Jeff. I was so chuffed to find this. You can't do that on stage anymore, sampler. It was still shrink wrapped. I was thinking I wasn't going to be able to find this. Because I am trying to collect all Zappa. I wasn't for many years. I just had some Zappa, but I don't know. Something hit me about 2 years ago. It says I need to have Zappa together. So I was happy to find this. So I just have a much smaller bunch of records I consider 10's. And when I do watch my videos. When I watched back the video, I realized I kept kind of mixing things up. It's not your top 10 albums, it's albums that you consider perfect 10's. And I kept explaining to myself that what I'm considering perfect 10's aren't perfect 10's because every song is good. It's the overall effect of the album on me that makes it a 10. Some of the albums are excellent all the way through. Those are rare. And some records that are good all the way through aren't even 10's. These are some more 10's. There are more of records that I consider perfect 10's, but I just pulled these for you for this morning. Art Bearers, Hopes and Fears. This is a journey that cannot be taken lightly. If Henry Cow wet your whistle, you really want to go into the catacombs like on this cover, like you're in, I don't know, caves or whatever. This album is awesome. This all, Dagmar, Henry, Fred Frith, and Chris Cutler. They really went for it on this album. This is a 10. It's not only challenging to the senses in many ways, it's very gratifying. Very, very fantastic. This next album is a perfect 10, but I can't listen to it anymore. I don't know the last time I listened to it because I can't listen to it because of a lot of personal things. Closer. Joy Division. If you know this album, you know what I mean. This is a perfect 10 of what it is. But I can't listen to it. This, I forgot how good this was. And I played it. We were talking about the New Romantics. Then we were kind of looking for references online. And Wikipedia included this album by Takahashi. And I forgot, yeah. Takahashi put this album out about that time from Yellow Magic Orchestra. He uses Bill Nelson and Phil Manzanera to great effect on this album. And we put this on, and this was just jaw-droppingly sweet. Just like the finest. It was like perfume. So this is a 10 too, okay? You've seen two, yeah. Yeah, this is a 10. I'm doing my 10s. This is a 10, people. New Romantic. Every song on this album is amazing. 10. Sensations Fix, Boxes Paradise. Really like this band. This album for me from them is definitely a 10. Every song. And it's just the whole album takes you a play. It takes you there. Now, this reminds me that yesterday I got a comment from Anders. Hey, Anders, in Stockholm, where he got really excited and said, I'm going to buy every one. And I thought to myself, I just need to clarify that these records mean a lot to me. I think these records are great for me, but that doesn't mean they're going to be great for everyone. And I'm glad I said that, because again, some of you folks may not like it all, but they're 10s for me, and that's why I'm showing them. 10. Another one where I want to kind of go against the grain. Todd Rundgren, I have great respect for, and I love him. Everyone loves A Wizard, a True Star, and that's the one. Not for me. It's Initiation. This is the 10 Todd Rundgren album for me. And a lot of people think this album is bunk, and I think you all are missing it. I think you miss it. This album is an amazing work. This is what A Wizard, a True Star was supposed to be. All that neo-soul shit that he does is weak. It's like, Todd, why do you even bother trying to do a Curtis Mayfield and stuff? You're sad when it comes to that. You are. I'd say it to him in a conversation as a person. I would. He wouldn't like it, but I'm telling you, it's like, you didn't even need to do that, Todd. You didn't bring nothing to that music. When you do your own thing, this is amazing. This is a work of art. Leave the Philly soul to the Philly soul people, man. That's just Dereck talking, okay? This is amazing, in my opinion. This is a 10. Todd Rundgren, Initiation. Happy the Man. Their first album. It sounds like the cover. When I saw this record, I didn't know anything about them. I saw the cover, and I said, it's got to be good. I bought it, and this is one of those records where it fulfills from the very first seconds of music. It fulfills. It's like, yes, they got it right. This album is beautiful. The only thing I don't like about this album are the vocals. But I've said it many times. I can do without the vocals. Everyone says the human voice is the most intimate instrument. Well, yeah, but so what? Play me some music. All you do is say the same things over and over again, people. That's another reason why I have my attitude. It's like, if the words are so important, why is life so fucked? Why don't we learn? If the words are so profound, why don't we show that we're learning? We don't. Selling England by the Pound. This is definitely a 10. The cinema show has brought tears to my eyes. Spontaneously. I'll never forget the time it happened. I was living in Port Aransas, Texas. I was 18 years old. I was down there working at a Bible camp, of all things. Can you believe it? Me, back in my Christian days. And I had just gotten this. Took it with me to Texas, for the summer. It was a summer job. And I will never forget this, because I'm in the dorm with these other Christian, we're all out of high school. Young Life was the organization that took us down there. And, I'm in this big dorm with all these other guys doing all sorts of goofy shit. And I'm in the corner by the stereo with my head buried in it. And then the last part of cinema show starts to happen, and I just start weeping. And it's like I was all alone, I didn't care what those guys thought of me, And of course, come over making fun of me, crying, listening to this funny music. I didn't give a fuck. This music, life changing. 24 minutes. I'm going to keep going until I'm done. I got 3 more. I talked about this recently. This is the perfect 10 for me. Their first album, Real Life, is really strong too. But I'll bet you if you talk to the Band Members magazine, they'll tell you this is the one. This is the one. Secondhand Daylight. This is their masterpiece. 10. I don't even need to talk. Birds of Fire, Mahavishnu Orchestra. 10. God damn, this is a 10. 10. Amazing. Amazing. My last 10 for today. Wire 154. Critics always say Pink Flag. Dereck says 154. Pink Flag, of course, is very groundbreaking. But the album that's truly groundbreaking, that some of y'all still haven't caught up to yet, I mean that lovingly, Wire 154. That's what I got for you today, people. Love y'all. Love y'all. Leave me comments.